So now we're discussing the autonomic nervous system in detail, as we have already studied further that autonomic nervous system is the parasympathetic sympathetic nervous system, and it acts on the glands, heart and smooth muscles, right? System this originates from the CNS that innervates and regulates the smooth muscles. Smooth muscle act on the heart cardiac muscles and act on the gland. Is a major function of autonomic nervous system, right? In this we have sympathetic, as we have already studied, and we have parasympathetic, right? Sympathetic, it originates from thoracolumbar area, and it originates from craniosacral region, right? Now, the basic function or the basic pathway through which the autonomic nervous system passes through or passes to its effector organ is: first action comes from hypothalamus, then cell bodies of preganglionic neuron, then it comes to preganglionic neuron, then comes to ganglion, and then to postganglionic, and then to the effector organ. This is the basic pathway of all the autonomic nervous system, right? Now I'm going to discuss the first we have parasympathetic. In parasympathetic, whenever there is a parasympathetic action in our body, we have presympathetic and preganglionic, postganglionic neurons, right? Preganglionic neurons come from CNS, right? Here it do synapses with the to become the postganglion, to perform action on the postganglion and then on the effector organ. This is the effector organ. This is the preganglionic neuron or the parasympathetic. This is the postganglionic neuron or parasympathetic. Now, as they are coming here, there is a neurotransmitter. There should be some neurotransmitter which activate it, and it regulate the further function of the postganglionic. So the neuron present here is a parasympathetic, right? In parasympathetic, it is adrenergic. So we have acetylcholine here, right? At the preganglionic. This is preganglionic. This is postganglionic. Here the neurotransmitter acetylcholine, right? Neurotransmitter, origin of preganglionic neurons with the parasympathetic. Here is the acetylcholine, and here is also the neurotransmitter. Which neurotransmitter is here to perform or to stimulate the function is acetylcholine, activate and perform function of the effector organ. Now remember, the preganglionic of the parasympathetic is long and the postganglionic is short, right? Para means long, preganglionic is long and postganglionic is short. Now the acetylcholine is present here, which is a neurotransmitter. Which receptor should be there to detect this or to attach with this? We have nicotinic receptors here, and here which receptor? There should be some receptor. There is muscarinic receptor, right? Now remember, we have, this is a acetylcholine. This is cholinergic, not adrenergic. This is cholinergic. Parasympathetic is cholinergic because it is acetylcholine. So it should have cholinergic receptors. Cholinergic receptors. There are two types of cholinergic receptors. We have nicotinic receptors and we have muscarinic. These two receptors should be present at the parasympathetic chain, right? Nicotinic receptor present and the preganglionic, between the preganglionic and postganglionic, and is present between postganglionic and effector organ. Remember, always remember, every effector organ is muscarinic receptor. This is the effector organ. This is the muscarinic receptor. Every effector organ should have muscarinic receptor, right? Nicotinic receptors, they are present at autonomic ganglia. Nicotinic receptors are present at autonomic ganglia, right? Now we have, this is all about the parasympathetic. Now I'll discuss about sympathetic, how the sympathetic action performs. Here, opposite of this, here we have long preganglionic. Para is long. Now in sympathetic we have short preganglionic. Here is autonomic ganglia. Then we have long postganglionic. This is the effector organ, right? In sympathetic, again the neurotransmitter here is as a sympathetic is adrenergic, right? We have this is acetylcholine, same as this, but here at the effector organ we have norepinephrine neurotransmitter. Here the neurotransmitter is acetylcholine, but here we have norepinephrine. Sympathetic is all cholinergic, but there is a mild adrenergic also present, that is norepinephrine, right? Or here we have short preganglionic and long postganglionic. Now, as we have already studied that there are specific receptors in there are different receptors for the sympathetic and parasympathetic. In parasympathetic we have nicotinic receptors that are present between the preganglionic and postganglionic. Between the postganglionic on effectors we have muscarinic receptors. So now here at sympathetic it is, and we have studied that is adrenergic. So we will study adrenergic receptors. Adrenergic receptors. We have alpha receptors and we have beta receptors, right? Now remember, these are, we have alpha 1 receptor, this is contraction of smooth muscle. What function of smooth muscle contraction. And we have alpha 2, that is G protein coupled. We have beta 1 that is present in mostly in the lungs. We have beta 2 present, beta 1 is present in heart, beta 2 is present in lungs, and beta 3. These all called causes muscle relaxation. Remember this, lungs, we have 2 portion in lungs, so it is beta 2, and heart, this is beta 1, right? Now we have receptors. Here in the sympathetic we have nicotinic receptors between preganglionic and postganglionic, but here at the effector organ we might have alpha 1 receptor, alpha 2 receptor, beta 1 receptor, beta 2 or beta 3 receptors, right? As we have already studied, sympathetic is same like parasympathetic, but there is a mild difference here between the effector organs in the lens, right? I'll give you a quick review. Parasympathetic we have long preganglionic, short postganglionic, right? And we have neurotransmitters acetylcholine in both preganglionic and postganglionic, but difference in the receptors. We have nicotinic receptor between preganglionic and postganglionic, and there is always muscarinic receptor present. Parasympathetic nerve transmission, there is muscarinic receptor, right? Then we have cholinergic receptors are the nicotinic and muscarinic. We have already studied. Cholinergic is in which we have acetylcholine is used as a neurotransmitter. And sympathetic nervous system, adrenergic, it is a mild adrenergic and a lot same as that of cholinergic. We have acetylcholine receptors between pre and postganglionic neuron nerve transmission, and there is a norepinephrine that is adrenergic between the effector organ. In effector organ we have alpha or beta receptors to perform function. It helps in fight and flight conditions. So we have these alpha, beta helps in muscle relaxation, and this alpha helps in smooth muscle contraction, right? This is all. Sympathetic decrease the endocrine sympathetic. This is sympathetic adrenergic or sympathetic decreases the smooth endocrine secretion, decrease endocrine secretion, and parasympathetic it increases the endo secretion.